In this guide I will tell you how to install the Concrete 5 CMS system. We will do this on the XAMPP local web server. First of all, I would like to check if my XAMPP is actually running. So I find the manager OSX icon, fire it up. It asks for my password. Okay, so we can see all my services are running. The database is running, the Apache web server is running. Okay. Okay. Next, I need to do something first. When we are developing a website, usually there is a public folder where we put all of our website files in. If you have a domain, this folder is usually called public _ HTML or something like that. When we are using XAMPP or MAMP or some other local web server, the folder is called htdocs, and we will be using that folder a lot. So it is a good idea to make a shortcut for it on your computer. The way we do that on a Mac is we navigate. Let's see here. See if I can find it. There it is, htdocs. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna drag the folder over to the favorites. And it kind of sticks to my favorites list. Okay. So now we have the htdocs shortcut. Very nice. Let's see if I can minimize that. Okay. The next thing I need to do now is we need to open a browser. We need to download Concrete 5. So I'm gonna start a browser, fire up Chrome, and then we will search for Concrete 5. Concrete 5 download. Alright. Take the first hit. Yep. So I'm just gonna download this version. This should be the latest version. Okay. And Chrome is downloading the file, and we can see it's a zip file. And it's finished downloading. I'm just gonna click on the zip file. Oh. To unzip the file. And then it should open up here. Okay. So we have the zip file. Here we have the folder. In order to install Concrete 5, I must copy the directory, the folder, to our public web folder called htdocs. So basically, I'm just gonna copy, and then we go to htdocs. Before I copy it, I would like to show you something. This is the public folder of our web server. To give a little demonstration of that, we can open a browser, and since it is a local web server, we can type in localhost. So we can see here our web server is actually running. We have Apache and the database PHP and Perl running. In the address line it says localhost / dashboard. Now if we go to Finder again, we can see here there's a folder called dashboard. This just means that the web server is actually looking into that folder right now and displaying this website here. So this just shows us that we need to put in our CMS system or any websites in here in this folder. Otherwise the web server will not be able to show them. Okay, so in this folder I will paste my Concrete 5 folder. Okay, so we can see the folder has been copied here. It says Concrete 5, 5.7.5.9. I would like to not having write this this folder name. To navigate to this now, I have to write Concrete 5, 5.7.5.9. That's a little long. It's a little too long. So I go back and I rename the folder. To C5. Yep. So now I can simply type localhost / C5. Okay. So now we can see that we've put in a package with Concrete 5. The web server has detected it, and it is displaying this installation program of the Concrete 5. Before we proceed with the installation, we need to create a database for the CMS system. All CMS systems need somewhere to store their content. They need to store the pages, the content, the users, everything. And the way we store content on a website is using a database. So we have to go to, I will open a new tab, and I will navigate to PHP My Admin. Okay, this is here. Oh, maybe I should change the language. Alright. Okay, over here under new we will create a new database, C5DB, and we just click create. So we have a database. We don't need to do anything more than this. The installation program for Concrete 5 will see this database and will create the necessary tables for it. So we go back to the Concrete 5 installation program. You can choose any language you want from these. I'll just keep it at English. Okay. Now, Concrete 5 has a little test program. It verifies whether some criteria are fulfilled before it installs the CMS system. We can see most of them are fulfilled. There is one, writable files and configuration directories, that's not fulfilled. What this means is it means that the CMS system has not the proper rights to write into the packages, the application and config directories in the web server. Usually this is something that happens on a Mac, because you don't have the web server doesn't have the required privileges. The way we handle this is that we have to go to Finder again. Again, we can see the folders inside the web server, the C5 folder, and actually this is the folder that is causing the problem. So we need to give the web server more privileges, so it can read and it can write to this folder. The way we do that is that we go to File, Get Info, and now we have a little view of the C5 folder. Some general information, name and extension, comments and sharing and permissions. We can see here the test user, which is me. It can read and write. The admin user only has read access. The everyone user only has read access. The web server is running as admin, so it can only read, which is the problem. So we will click on it, read and write. Let's just take everyone also, read and write. And then you have to click on this log symbol. It will ask for your password, and then we can click on the wrench symbol down here. Apply to enclosed items. What this means is basically just that we want all folders, all directories under C5 to be affected by this also. So we click OK to this. Yep. Close it. Then we go back to our test program and we refresh it. Yep. So now you can see the web server has access to has read and write permissions. All right. Brilliant. Continue to installation. Now we need to enter some information about our Concrete 5 installation. Put in a site name. And then we need to put in an email address. Oh shit. What's going on here? Alright. And we have to type in a password. And the password here is the one that you will log into Concrete 5 with, so you should kind of remember it. Database information. Now we need to tell Concrete 5 the location of our database. Since we are running a local web server, we will type in localhost. username is root. Since we are running a local web server, there is no password for the root user, which is kind of unsecure, but as long as it's only development, it's okay. When you install Concrete 5 on a domain, on a real domain, obviously you will not put in localhost because you are not running on your own machine, but you are talking to a remote web server. So then you have you will usually type in your domain name. Usually you will also have a different user than root, because root is the super user of the system, so it's never good to use that. And probably you will have a password. The database name. This is where we need to type in the database we just created in phpMyAdmin. So this is C5DB. We will type in. Alright. Now, we have two options here. We can either create an empty site. We have no content. We just have unstyled elemental theme. This means that you have no pages, no content. This is good if you are used to Concrete 5 and CMS systems. If you are a beginner or new to CMS systems, you should choose the full site. This will create a full website, including content, and then you get something to play around with. And now we can see that the installation program is creating database tables and setting up things. This might take a little time. Now we can see that the Concrete 5 installation program has finished. We've been logged in as the admin user with the password that you chose. You can change that password if you go to the dashboard. Let's go to see our site. Alrighty. We have installed Concrete 5.